Yeah, I went off topic, obviously. I went off tangent, obviously. Nobody's surprised. I did say this was my brand. Hey everyone, it's Aradna. Welcome back to another edition of Off Tangent Thoughts. For those of you who are new here, Off Tangent Thoughts is a meme created by Charby at Not Just Fiction, where she posts bookish prompts on alternate Saturdays. Now, I've missed a few prompts, so I'm trying to catch up, and if you've been watching, you know that it is very much my brand to go off tangent on these off tangent thoughts prompts, which definitely I'm going to be doing today. So, the second last September prompt was thoughts you have when you read a book with long descriptions. Now, descriptions can be great. It sets up the world, it gives you insight into a character's motives and into their feelings and thoughts. It can be really, really great. I will admit that when I write, I do tend to get a little bit descriptive. But if the descriptions get too much, yeah, I'm just going to be skimming here. You know, if it's important, I'll come back and see what I missed. But you kind of tone down the words. You just want to tone down all of that so that your readers don't skim. It's something I'm working on. Again, this can not be something. Some people enjoy this, descriptions and purple prose, and it can be done really well. So I thought I would talk a little bit about 3 classic authors that I love who are guilty of doing this. I mean, their descriptions do move the plot along, so that's great. But yeah, so the first one I'm going to be talking about is J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote, obviously, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And I didn't finish The Hobbit because it was so descriptive and just, it did not seem like the plot was going anywhere, but so many people love it and they say it was better than the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, but the descriptions in the Lord of the Rings trilogy actually built up to the plot. Maybe I'm remembering things wrong, but the thing is, his writing was so lush and descriptive, and yeah, I've heard that a lot of the descriptions was spite because he and C.S. Lewis had this very friendly rivalry going on. So there's that. But it worked. He built up this atmosphere of mysticness, this whole otherworldliness that otherwise wouldn't have been there if he hadn't been that descriptive. If you do that, I would probably love your book. I mean, I will skim a little bit, but I will love your book because it adds to the atmosphere of your story, of your world. It just gives it an extra layer. If you're just being descriptive to show your purple prose, yeah, skim probably 3 stars book unless something really exciting happens plot-wise. Another author that is very descriptive in a slightly different way than J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien's very direct descriptiveness, very much explaining what's there without too much of a purple prose kind of thing, is C.S. Lewis. Again, they had a very much of a rivalry going on, which is hilarious when you think about it. I've heard that C.S. Lewis specifically put a lamppost in Narnia because J.R.R. Tolkien told him that it's impossible to have a lamppost in a fantasy setting. Now, C.S. Lewis also has a very rambling, descriptive style, but his descriptive style is very meandering, a lot of run-on sentences, and it feels like a very conversational writing. So Narnia is one of my favorite series. It's very much, in hindsight, it's very much preachy in a lot of ways, but it's very fantastical, and the descriptions add to that. It does not distract from that, and that is what you want to do when you have a lot of book descriptions. You want to add to your story. You don't want to distract from your story. You're not describing just for the sake of describing. It has to add something to the story, to the atmosphere, to your characters in some way or the other. If you don't do that, you might be in the wrong job. Now, I will admit freely that C.S. Lewis's writing style has heavily influenced my own. I do a lot of run-on sentences. Ellipses and dashes are my best friends. I need to learn how to cut things down, but that's what the editing process is for. The final classic author that I'm going to talk about is Jane Austen. Now, Jane Austen is a master of subverting expectations, subverting classic tropes in romance, and I love her for it. She's also very much descriptive and a little bit meandering to get to her point. I have been reading Persuasion for over a year now. Part of it is because the book is huge, so I don't take it out a lot. Another part of it is because it does get a little bit, sometimes, not exactly dry, just draggy. She's wordy, she's not purple prosy, but she's descriptive. She's wordy and descriptive, and it adds to the story. It does. It gives you background, it gives you character motivations, it gives you characteristics. So it builds these characters, it makes them very, very much real. And it's just, I think it might be my copy of the book because it's just a very big page, it's a very big book. The story themselves just grip you because of how she builds these characters in her descriptions. And again, this is another author that has heavily influenced my writing style. And I need to find a balance between description and just building my world. But yeah, descriptions should add something, not take away something. So if it's taking away from your reader's enjoyment of your books, you need to cut down on your descriptions. You need to find a way to balance descriptions with plot and capturing the imagination of your audience. What are your thoughts on excessive book descriptions? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Do you agree with this at all? Who are some of your favorite descriptive authors? If you have a passage of description from a book that you really enjoy, feel free to tell me about it. Feel free to link it to me in some way. I would love to see that. Just to compare writing styles and everything, I like to do that. So please like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!